All right, so looking at lesson 4 of Algebra 1, we're looking at using order of operations. You'll be able to simplify expressions using the order of operations is our objective. All right, so a couple things here are vocabulary terms. So if you want to do the warm-up, I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for number 1, that's going to be an exponent. Remember, the exponent tells the base to multiply yourself by yourself however many times. So again, if it was like 4 to the second, that means, all right, 4, you're going to multiply yourself by yourself twice, so 4 times 4, giving us 16. All right, the other one I wanted to review was number 5. So remember, I'm just going to go ahead and write this on a new page. So we got 4 and 1/5 divided by 3 1/2. So 4 and 1/5, all divided by 3 1/2. All right, so when we look at this, one of the first things that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to change our fractions here, our mixed numbers, to improper fractions. So remember, I'm going to do 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21 over 5. So 21 over 5, remember the denominator stays the same. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 7 over 2. Remember that little saying, copy dot flop, copy dot flop, copy dot flip flop, whatever it might be. So we're just going to rewrite this, so 21 over 5, all times, this will be 2 all over 7, because we flip-flop that second fraction. Multiplying fractions, multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. But if you want to reduce first, you can. I think I'm going to reduce first, because we know that 21 divided by 7, that's going to give us 3. So I'm just going to say 2 over 5, all times 3. And so, therefore, we are going to get, let's see, it looks like it's 6 over 5. Yeah, so again, just it's easy to forget, but remember that copy dot flop or that copy dot flip flop technique with that question in the warm up. And if we wanted to rewrite it as a mixed number, we know that 6 goes into 5 one whole time, and then there's 1 left over, so 1 and 1/5. All right, looking at today's lesson, order of operations. So everyone has heard PEMDAS before, so PEMDAS. All right, so a couple key things. So multiply and divide, that's from left to right. So again, whatever appears first on the left as we move across, that's what we're going to do first, whether it's multiplication or division. Same thing for addition and subtraction. We add and subtract from left to right. And that answers our question here. So why are those in the same color? All right, so let's start with parentheses. So we can see here we have 3 times parentheses 4 plus 2 and parentheses plus 5 squared minus 10. So let's take care of our parentheses. So we got 3 all times 4 plus 2 is 6. All plus 5 squared, all minus 10. All right, good, we got our parentheses done. All right, let's go to exponents. So that's 5 squared, so we got 3 times 6, all plus 25, all minus 10. Beautiful, exponents are done. Multiply and divide from left to the right. We only got one multiplication, let's go ahead and do that. So we got 18 plus 25, all minus 10. Great, we don't have any divides, so I'm just gonna say not applicable. And then, yeah, so let's add. So we got 18 plus 25, that's going to give us 43, and then we're going to subtract the 10 minus 10 gives us 33. So yeah, that key point, multiply and divide from left to right, and then add and subtract from left to right. All right, so looking at our expression at the top here, so I'll give everyone a moment to do both problems, so we're going to resume in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so remember PEMDAS, so I like to just write it down. There's also an anchor chart in Schoology, so if you want to check or use that on a test, that's totally fine. All right, parentheses, let's take care of that. So we got 10 times 3, that's going to be 30. All plus 7 times 5 plus 4 is 9. All right, so parentheses are good. Exponents, we don't have that. Multiplication, we have 7 times 9, so we have 30. All plus 7 times 9. Remember, if I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across on my fingers, I have 6 on the left and 3 to the right, so that means it's 63. And then no division, so we're adding and there's no subtraction, so therefore we're going to get 93. All right, down here, again, I just like to write out PEMDAS, again, just so I can look at every single letter as I'm going through the question. All right, parentheses, so I have the 3 here. There's an exponent, but there's nothing going on inside the parentheses, so we're just going to jump to the exponents. So here, let's do 4 cubed, or 4 to the 3rd power, so 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. So 64, all plus 9, divided by 3, minus 2, all times 3 squared. Careful, it's 3 times 3, not 3 times 2, so 3 times 3 is 9. All right, so we got parentheses, we got exponents. All right, now let's look at multiplication and division from left to right. All right, so we have 64 plus 9 divided by 3. All right, so that's going to go to 64 all plus 3, because break 9 into 3 parts, and we get 3. Minus 2 times 9, so that's multiplication, so that's going to be minus 18. All right, so what we see here is now we are down to addition and subtraction. So 64 plus 3 is going to be 67, and then all minus 18. Let's see here. If we do 67 minus 18, that cancels. 17 minus 8 is 9, and then we get the 4 there, so all right, we get 49. Again, I just like to go through and check off to make sure that I've done each part of PEMDAS in the proper order. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump ahead to a couple more examples. So I'm going to pause and then you can practice. I'm going to resume the video in 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's look here. So starting at the top, again, I'm just going to write out PEMDAS. That's just a little problem-solving technique I like to do to make sure I'm checking and doing the right thing as I go. All right, so inside the parentheses, let's take care of that first. Remember, inside parentheses, order of operation applies as well. So just make sure to apply that PEMDAS as well inside parentheses. So we got 2 times 3 is going to give us 6 minus 2 all squared over 2. And then we know that 6 minus 2 is going to be 4 all squared over 2. All right, so now we move on to our exponent. 4 squared is going to be 16 all over 2. And then we can see here, so we've done parentheses, exponents. We've done, there was no multiplication. We're going to go ahead and divide now. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. And that's going to be our answer because there's no addition, no subtraction. All right. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. I'm just going to copy it to a new page just so we can get a little bit more space here. All right, so just going to go ahead and paste that there. All right, so looking here, again, I just like to write out my PEMDAS, so I'm just going to do that. All right, so PEMDAS. Oops, let me just click out of that box. Perfect. All right, and if you want to do this one on your own, go ahead and go. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, so parentheses, there we go. We got one set, so let's do it. 1.5 plus 3 is 4.5. All divided by 9, all plus 3 cubed. All right, so we're good on parentheses. Let's go to exponents. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. So therefore, I'm just going to write this out, leave this the same, and then 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. All right, so we got exponents. So now multiplication and division from left to right. All right, so 4.5, so we don't have any multiplication, but we have division. 4.5 divided by 9, that's just going to be 1/2. So we got 1/2 plus 27. So we're just going to add those. There's no subtraction, so we get 27.5. All right, so now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to copy what's on the right side. Just so we got some more space to work. All right. So again, I just like to go ahead and write out PEMDAS whenever I'm working on one of these problems. You know, no matter how many you do, it's always good just to follow that procedure, that protocol on every question. That is going to be an order of operations question like we see here. All right, so parentheses, let's take care of that. So we got 18 plus 8 is going to be 26 all over 2, and all minus 8 divided by 4. No exponents. We don't have any multiplication, but we do have division twice, so I'm going to do it from left to right. 26 divided by 2 is 13, and then we got minus 8 divided by 4 is going to be 2, and then we don't got any addition. We're going to subtract, and we're going to get 11. So therefore, don't forget to compare. Remember, the alligator eats the one that's more positive, and so we can see 27.5 is more positive than 11. So therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. Go ahead and throw in your alligator eating the larger one. Yep, so I'm going to say that this expression on the left is greater than the expression on the right. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and select greater than there. All right, moving on. So again, all we're doing here is moving from left to right. So since it's just addition and subtraction, again with addition and subtraction, just move from left to right. 12 minus 7, we get 5. So we see that happening here. And then we get 5 plus 3, that's going to be 8. We see that happening there. Finish it off, 8 minus 6, give us the difference of this one, so just the answer of 2. All right, we're going to keep moving. All right, so crop circle in wheat field has a diameter of 100 yards diameter. Okay, so I'm just going to say diameter equals 100 yards. All right, and then its area is 3.14 times 100 over 2 square yards. So World Cup soccer field is 70 yards by 110 yards. So the area is 70 times 110 square yards. So how much larger is the crop circle than the soccer field? So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and open up a new page. Let's just go ahead and start comparing. So with the crop circle, it's 3.14. And again, that number there comes from pi. All times 100 all over, I believe it was 2 squared. All right. And on the other side, we have 70 times 110. So again, I really like to identify what I'm given in a problem and what I'm looking for. So here, this is what I'm looking for. How much larger is the crop circle than the soccer field? All right, so let's start doing some calculations. So again, order of operations here. Start off with parentheses. So I'm just going to go ahead and write down PEMDAS. Oops, going to erase that. All right, that's an E right there. Parentheses, so we got 3.14 all times 50 squared. So therefore, we're going to parentheses, exponents, let's take care of that. If we do 50 times 50, 5 times 5 is 25. We have 2 extra zeros. That should be 2,500. I'm just going to double check on my calculator. Beautiful. So we're at 2,500. All times 3.14. And we're just left with multiplication. We didn't have any division, addition, or subtraction, so I'll just cross those out. And then so what we get, 2,500 times 3.14, 7,850. But remember, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with yards, and it's not just yards, it's square yards, because it's representing an area. All right, so we got 7,850 yards squared. Now let's go here to the soccer pitch, or the soccer field. So we got 70 times 110. That is going to give us, just doing it on my calculator, you can write it out, or do it on the calculator either way. All right, let's see, so 70 times 110, 7,700 yards squared. Yep, so now let's go ahead and take the difference. So 7,850, all minus 7,700, and so we get 0, we get 5, we get 1. So therefore, what we can say, let's go back to our answer. So how much larger is the crop circle than the soccer field? So 150 yards squared larger. I'll just say than the soccer field. Okay, great. All right, so you have your practice set here. I'll go ahead and let you guys do that in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to come back and review the practice set in a second. Again, we were simplifying expressions using the order of operations. Here we have some answers to the practice set. And then here, see me if you have any questions on the answers above. So we had solutions to homework, to an old homework, and then the lesson 4 homework was the starred problems 7, 8, and 20. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day.